Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Associate Professor Jimmy Wong from the Singapore University of Social Sciences. I am pleased to share with you a conference paper I presented with my colleague, Dr. Lai from the Teaching and Learning Center. The title of our work is Assessment Redesign in the Era of Generative AI, the Recency, Immediacy, and Discovery Framework. This framework was developed in response to the growing challenges and opportunities brought about by generative AI, especially in the context of academic assessment. Let me walk you through the motivation behind this paper and how this framework can help institutions move from reactive to constructive strategies in assessment design. Many tertiary education institutions have responded to generative AI in varied and fragmented ways. For some, it is viewed primarily as a threat to academic integrity. As a result, one common response has been to ban its use altogether. However, this approach often overlooks the need to prepare students for the future of work, where such tools will likely play a central role. Other institutions have focused on detection, trying to identify and police students who may have used generative AI inappropriately. But this quickly becomes an arms race, as the capabilities of AI tools continue to evolve rapidly. It is an unsustainable and ultimately impractical strategy. Some have taken a more positive approach by publishing ethical guidelines for students. While well-intentioned, these efforts often lack clarity. They do not provide specific guidance on when and how the use of generative AI is acceptable in assessments. This lack of consistency and detail led us to propose an alternative, a structured framework that addresses academic integrity concerns while leveraging the potential of generative AI to enhance learning. That is the basis for the RID framework, which I will now introduce. The RID framework offers a practical way to design assessments that are both pedagogically sound and responsive to the reality of generative AI. It is built around three key elements: recency, immediacy, and discovery. Recency refers to the focus on current real-world issues. It encourages us to challenge learners to apply theoretical knowledge to fresh, evolving scenarios, situations that are happening now, not simply textbook examples. Immediacy is about responding in the moment. It involves real-time or time-sensitive assessments, where students are asked to apply their learning spontaneously, simulating the kinds of decisions they might have to make in professional settings. Discovery focuses on generating new insights. It encourages learners to explore, investigate, and deepen their understanding of a topic through guided research, often using generative AI tools for data collection, analysis, or creative ideation. These elements are not meant to stand alone. They can be used in different combinations, depending on the learning objectives and the nature of the course. In the next slide, I will share a case study that illustrates how the RID framework has been applied in an actual course. Let me now share a case study where we implemented the RID framework, specifically in a course called MKT 372, AI and Marketing. In this course, students are exposed to a range of generative AI tools and how they relate to marketing practice. The teaching plan is structured week by week to scaffold both tool familiarity and conceptual understanding. In week 1, we begin with text-based generative AI, comparing ChatGPT Pro with Claude Pro. Students explore differences in how these tools support ideation, content generation, and planning. Week 2 shifts to text-to-image tools like DALL-E, Leonardo AI, and Midjourney, allowing students to experiment with visual generation for marketing assets. Week 3 introduces video and avatar generation tools, including Synthesia and Runway, helping students understand how AI can be used for campaign storytelling and visual communication. By week 4, students complete a class test to apply what they have learned. The remaining weeks focus on project work. Weeks 5 to 6 are allocated for group assignment preparation, 7 to 8 for presentation and peer feedback, and weeks 9 to 12 are dedicated to preparing a research proposal. This course structure gives us the opportunity to implement different combinations of the RID elements across multiple assignments, which I will detail in the next slide. Now, let me walk you through how each of the three major assignments in MKT 372, AI and Marketing, aligns with the RID framework. The first assignment is a class test structured as a hackathon, combining recency and immediacy. Recency is reflected in the way the task is framed. A real company owner is invited to class to present a recent marketing problem, such as low awareness of a newly launched product. Students are hearing about a real current issue, not a hypothetical case. Immediacy comes into play right after the briefing. Students are given just 45 minutes to respond by designing and submitting an advertising campaign using the generative AI tools they have learned. This on-the-spot requirement challenges their ability to synthesize theory and apply it under time pressure, mimicking real-world constraints. The second assignment is a group project that blends discovery with immediacy, but in a different way. Discovery takes place as students expand one of their original ads into a full marketing campaign. This involves gathering data to support their campaign strategy and objectives, encouraging analytical thinking and independent research. Immediacy enters at the end of the project during the live campaign pitch. Students present their work to the instructor in real time and must handle spontaneous Q&A. This live element tests their readiness to defend their decisions and respond under pressure, just as they might in a professional pitch environment. The third assignment is a take-home exam in the form of a research proposal focused on discovery. Here, students step back and reflect critically on their group campaign. They develop a formal problem statement and research objective supported by a literature review and proposed methodology. They are also expected to collect pilot data and carry out preliminary analysis. This assignment demands sustained inquiry and analytical rigor, hallmarks of the discovery dimension. Together, these three assignments offer a scaffolded approach to activating recency, immediacy, and discovery, aligning assessment design with the realities of AI-enhanced learning. While the RID framework offers many advantages, it is important to acknowledge the conditions and limitations that come with its implementation. First, the framework assumes a basic level of research understanding. It is therefore more suited for advanced undergraduate or postgraduate courses where students are already equipped with foundational academic skills. Second, the discovery component may not be applicable to every discipline. For example, courses that are heavily computational or focused on coding may find it challenging to integrate open-ended, exploratory assignments that require qualitative insight or creative interpretation. Third, instructors play a critical role. Successful implementation of the RID framework requires them to incorporate generative AI tools meaningfully into their course design, not as an add-on, but as a core part of the learning journey. This also involves a mindset shift. Instructors need to move away from viewing AI as a threat and instead see it as a pedagogical ally. To do so, they must become proficient with the tools themselves so that they can guide students in using AI responsibly and effectively. In short, the RID framework works best in learning environments where both instructors and students are ready to engage meaningfully with generative AI. We believe that recency, immediacy, and discovery offer a practical lens for rethinking assessment in an academic environment that is increasingly shaped by generative AI. Rather than resisting change, this framework helps us embrace AI meaningfully, not just as a tool, but as a catalyst for deeper engagement. The RID framework has already been implemented beyond MKT 372, including in other courses such as MGT 551, The Future of Work, and MGT 570, Service Robotics and Applications. We hope this provides useful inspiration for rethinking assessment design in your own context. Thank you once again.